and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Hope well today, hope you're feeling grand and all around the world. Hello, everybody. Today, people of the tube, seeing as the Troy Redfern / Red Giant tour is fully in effect at this point in time, we are out and about in the UK. I thought I'd give you a bit of a rundown on all the stuff I'm taking on tour: guitars, amps, pedals, leads, you name it. So without further ado, there's a lot to get through, so let's get on with it, shall we? So let's start with amplifiers. So what amps am I taking and why? So the two amps I'm taking are the Orange Jewel Baby and the Boss Katana 100 head here. You heard the 100 in the intro, skip, jam thing, whatever that was. I wanted to do longer, but I've got a lot to get through, so it's going to have to be quick. And I never like that, but here we are. So I don't have a number one amp. There's not going to be a main amp. They're both main amps. It just depends on how I feel on the night. You know, some nights I might go, oh, I want to use the Orange. And some nights I'm like, oh, I want to use the Boss. They both sound slightly different to each other. The Orange is a little bit darker, a little bit kind of more honky in the mid-range, in a nice way. Not kind of like, you know, someone's got all of his nose. Whereas the Boss is a bit more martially. It's got a bit more of that kind of like plexi kind of thing to it. Like, you know, the mid-range isn't as pointy as the Orange, if that makes sense. It's a little bit more scooped, but not kind of like shred metal kind of sound. So they're the two amps I'm using. The really cool thing about them as well is, what I love about them is if my pedal board went down, you know, touch wood. But things happen, you know, things like that can happen. They have happened in the past to me, and they will happen again. The cool thing about these amps is I can go straight into them and do everything. I can do the whole gig with just the amp. So say I'm playing away and my patch lead dies or something happens to my pedal board, I can unplug from my pedal board, plug straight into my guitar. I can hit channel 2 on both the amps because they're both set up for distortion, and I can just ride the volume control and do the rest of the gig with just the amp plugged straight in, and kind of like make the pedal board redundant. I don't need that there. And the same thing goes if, say, the Boss goes down or the Orange goes down at a gig. I can quickly change it out. Because I don't use effects loops, I only ever have 3 leads into the back of an amp. I have one going to my pedal board, power lead, and speaker cable. So it doesn't take a great deal of time to swap things over, which is another reason why I never liked the idea of using effects loops, because I don't want to have to be able to plug in 5 leads when I can minimize it to 3, cut down on time. And because we're only a support act, we'll only have 35-40 minutes a night to play. So if something does go down, you need to be able to change it rapidly and fast and get back on the go. So I always take that into consideration, because I've been doing this for a long time. I know what can go wrong, because it has. I'm sure a lot of you out there who've been gigging for a long time know what can go wrong, and it will go wrong. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So that's what I love about the Jewel Baby and the Katana. I can just do everything I need to from there. From the amp. So they're the two amps I'm taking. Like I said, another thing as well, I don't know if I mentioned this, they're small. I've got to think about in the van, it's not just my gear, my brother's bass gear is going to be in there, and John Joe's drum kit's in there as well. So the smaller stuff, the better. I mean, I would love to be able to say, yeah, people of the tube, here's my amp setup. There, just those 3 stacks. Only 3, I'm afraid. I'm minimising it for this tour. But such is life. We're not playing arenas yet. Anyway, so there are the amps. Cab. I bought this for the tour. This is a Marshall Origin 2x12 vertical cab. I've wanted a vertical cab for ages, and I finally got one. Because I love head and cab more than combos. I think they sound different. To me, they sound better. I know that's weird to say, but the head and cab thing, I just prefer it. I have changed the speakers in the cab. It originally came with Celestion 7080 speakers, which is stock. But there's certain frequencies in those speakers that are missing, I don't like. So I changed them out. They're great speakers, and if I had to use them, I wouldn't complain. But I didn't have to use them, so I changed them to Celestion G12T 75s, and they're the 16 ohm version, not the. You can get an 8 ohm version and a 16 ohm version, and the inside here is a 16 ohm version. So that's that, and I'm running it at 8 ohm. The cab. So that's that. That's the amps. And again, I love these things. And again, they play really nicely. That's another thing I love about the G12Ts. Any amp I run into them just goes, I like this. You know, I've never, with certain other speakers that I've tried, running certain amps into them, they sound really weird. All of a sudden, that kind of like character of that amp goes away. It's really strange. Whereas with the G12Ts, everything sounds really good. And again, I like the headroom because both amps are 100 watt as well. I really like that headroom with that. I don't really like lower wattage amps as much. One of the only amps I like that's low wattage is the Studio Vintage there. Anyway, that's the amps I'm using. Like I said, there isn't a main. You know, it just depends on what I feel like using on the night. Sometimes you'll see the Dual Baby, sometimes you'll see the Katana on top of that cab. It just varies, you know, it depends on what I feel like. So let's talk about guitars now. So I'm taking my Quantum Industries Guitar Vault, which I love and just makes life happy and easy, because not only is it awesome to transport your guitars around in, and I've been doing it for a load of gigs now, and it's getting beaten up, people with Tube, I can tell you that, but it's a guitar stand as well, and it looks really cool. And I've put a light in there because sometimes it's dark on certain side stages or wherever, and you can't see what you're doing. And so there's a light in there now. And I just love it. Like I say, and to me, it just makes me very happy just looking at my guitars like that. I'm just like, Anyway, let's look at the guitars before I get too distracted. So, I really wanted to take a guitar out with single coils, with 3 single coils. You know, so I've been back and forth over which guitar to take for weeks, months now, of what guitars I'm going to take. Those 2 were no-brainers. The 3rd slot was very unknown. And eventually, I decided to go with my Fender ST62 because I love this thing. And it was slightly haunted for a while. It isn't anymore. We've exorcised the demons from this thing, people with Tube. I've got another couple of guitars to do that too, but the demons are gone from this guitar. The ghost is still there, but you know, I can use it again. And I wanted a guitar with 3 single coils because I love single coil pickups more than humbuckers, and I wanted the option to have all 3, not just middle and neck. And I just like the idea of having a Strat, you know, like a proper, not a super Strat, that's like a traditional kind of Strat with me. And I didn't like the idea of getting kind of out and about and then going, oh, I really wish I had, like, you know, a single coil bridge pickup. Really would like to do a Strat kind of, normal Strat kind of to play tonight, and I don't have it. So this is, again, I don't have a number 1 guitar. It's going to be this one or it's going to be the other one, which I'll show you in a sec. Depends on, again, how I feel. And so this is one of the guitars I'm taking. It's just a beast. I love it to bits. I've got a series of videos on this one. If you haven't seen this, it initially started out as like a black polyurethane finish, and it's a 1990 reissue, 60s reissue, basically Japanese made. One of the best guitars I own. And so this is one of my guitars I'm taking. I love it to bits, and it sounds amazing. And Scott at Golden Era Guitars did such an amazing job, like he does. He's a genius anyway, on refinning it and making it look cool. By the way, all the plectrum wear you see here, that's not relicking, that's actually me. I'm chewing it away slowly. And there's a couple of dints and dents up here and in here and all the places where it's getting chewed up now. I wonder what it's going to look like at the end of the tour, people with Tube. Especially this area. I wonder how big that's going to be at the end of the tour. So, that's one of the guitars. Put it away. Number 2, technically not number 2, technically just a shared number 1. This is my Chapman Pro X ML1 Pro X. And this guitar has been to every gig I've done since I got it, and will proceed to be every gig. It's just one of the best guitars I own, hands down. It really is. Again, it's slightly modified visually. The pickups are original. Select switch has been moved, but it is the original switch. I did change out the volume pot for a 1 meg. It used to be a 500k, but 1 meg sounded better. Other than that, it is what it is. I've got dots on it. But this is my other guitar, and the cool thing between this and the ST is that if we get to a venue and it's really loud, buzzy-wise, with RF interference and stuff like that, and I can't use, say I want to use the Strat, but I can't because it's just too loud and buzzy, I can use Mr. Pro X here because he's got noiseless pickups and a humbucker in the bridge. So it's dead quiet no matter what room you put it in, and it's just so easy to play. It's light, it's comfy. and I love it to bits, and it looks amazing. And I got Mr. Rob Chapman to sign it for me as well when I met him at the Birmingham Guitar Show. And I just love it. It really is. It's just one of those guitars. It's just like magic. Absolutely. And it was magic from the get-go as well. There were certain things I didn't like about it aesthetically, because it was black originally, like transparent black, and that's not really me. And also where the select switch is back here, I don't really like that. But in the scheme of things, I haven't really changed a great deal about it. You know, it's just kind of more aesthetics. Like I have white plastics, pickup ring, the gold bell knobs there. Moving the select switch was the main mod on it. Anyway, that's the guitar I'm taking. Like I say, it'll cover the bases of if a room's really noisy. Mr. Chapman here will fill that gap nicely and be very, very quiet and go, "I've got you, Dave, don't worry about it." Okay, last guitar, third guitar, is the Chapman ML3 Pro X. And this guitar is kind of like, this guitar's only going to be used for 2 songs. But I need it because it's baritone tuned, so it's in B standard. And we have 2 songs in B standard, which are If I Possession Over Judgment Day, Red Giant's latest single. And also, if you haven't seen it, please go to Red Giant and have a listen. And You Say I Say, off the debut album. They're both in B, standard tuning, baritone tuning. And this guitar, weird. Don't know if you heard that. Anyway, this guitar just, I know what that is. That's the handle on the bass case just falling down. Anyway, this guitar covers that heavy sound really well. It's got Seymour Duncan humbucker in the bridge. I forget what it is, but it's just a beast. And I love its gold. And also in certain lights it goes green, and it's just so cool. And it's really heavy, but comfy. But it's a great guitar, this one. And again, this will get pulled out for those 2 songs only, because I do have other songs that I'm writing in that tuning, but for right now, that's that. So that's kind of like a special. No, it's not really. It's just it's song specific. Whereas these 2 are not song specific. I can use either one of them for the rest of the set. Whereas this one has a special use. There we go. So that's the guitars. And that just looks cool. And again, it just makes it easier, because like to wheel it on stage, take the front off the case. Not only have you got your guitars now, it's a stand as well. It's just easy to get to. If I break a string, my other guitar is there. You know what I mean? Away we go. So that's the amps. I'm going wireless as well. People with tube on this. Well, I just love wireless now. I've got a Shure wireless, and the wireless pack's in there. Always important in this day and age. So I reckon in general, really, is take your own microphone. Some venues won't let you use your own microphone, but I'm going to try and get away with using my own microphone as much as I can, because the last thing you want is the band the night before, the singer had a horrific cold, and he's like gobbing in it, and then you sing into it, and then you get his cold. So using your own mic, I think, is important. So I'm taking my own SM58, industry standard. Stay there, you. Why is it rolling that way? Anyway, so that's that. Let's talk about what's in here. So this is the front of the guitar vault. Inside this front compartment here, that's where all my leads go. So that's really cool. And then here, this little thing, I've got plectrums and earplugs because it's loud. There's a slide in there. Most important though, people, we can't do the tour without this. This is the most important. Without this, the tour cannot even happen. And everyone agrees. Without Mini Mayer, the tour cannot proceed. Mini Mayer's been to every gig as well. He's up there with how many gigs, Red Giant gigs he's attended with the Chapman Pro X. So that's in there, and the reason that's in there is I do have a bag, which I'll show you in a sec, full of all my backup stuff. But the idea is to minimise how much stuff I have to bring into the venue and onto the stage. So as much stuff I can get in here, that's to hand and easy to get to, the better. So that's what's in the front there, and again, that's the lid for the guitar vault. Got me folder as well. That's got all the lyrics in it and stuff like that. Because I can't remember lyrics, I just struggle with that. Always have. I blame my dyslexia and stuff like that. Anyway, so let's talk about the pedal board now. Okay, YouTube. So this is my main pedal board I'm going to be using on top. I do have a backup board which I'll show you in a bit, but this is the main pedal board I'm going to be using. So I thought I would demo it, so just so you can hear the sounds. So this is how we're in the Katana right now, and this is basically how I set both amps up, totally clean. And the reverb you're hearing is from the Zoom. So if I turn the expression pedal all the way down, there's no reverb. I have reverb basically assigned to the expression pedal, so I can have little amounts or craziness. So that's the reverb. That's where the reverb's coming from. Because obviously the Orange doesn't have reverb, so just in case I need it, which I prefer it, but if I don't need it, I won't have it. If that makes sense. Anyway, he's talking nonsense again. So the Zoom is kind of like all sorts. We'll start there. So the Zoom is my main kind of clean sound, but it's also my solo boost sound. So A7 is kind of like clean. A8 is a volume jump. A9 is song specific for the song Free Me, because it has this whammy. It's not really a whammy though, but it's so that's that specific patch. Specific. I can't say that word. And then down here we have Friends. The Friends patches. So A4 is just clean, but A3 is a harmony effect for the guitar solo section of Friends. So that's another kind of song specific sound. Other than that, most of the songs are on A7. Like I said, I've got the reverb set to the expression pedal. Moving along, well, let's skip a few. The main kind of pedals I use are over here. So we've got the Marshall Governor, which is my main distortion pedal. The Marshall Jackhammer, which is my dirty clean, that's John Frusciante kind of sound. Ibanez Wah V2, Boss DS2. And if I'm using a Strat with all single coils, my rhythm tone is the Governor and the Jackhammer together with the guitar rolled down on A. If I'm just using the Chapman Pro X, it's literally just the Governor because it's got a humbucker and it doesn't need as much kind of gain. But the Jackhammer's the Was It All My Fault sound. And then for stuff like Monsters, it'll be both with single coils. That's that, and then we've got the glorious DS2. Which I use the Governor and the DS2 for The Dark of Me. It's just heavy. Love that to bits. So, special effects. We've got the Cloudburst, which I like to use for Was It All My Fault as well. Just adds like a little bit of extra accompaniment, which is fun. I have Mel 9, which is set to choir mode, which I don't really ever take it off choir mode. I use the choir mode a lot. And then we have the Line 6 delay modeler. So A is a massive delay, and that's for volume swells. is just a solo delay. So if I want delay on for a guitar solo, I use B, and it's just that kind of Dave Murray thing. Tails, but it's a very short kind of delay. And then C is song specific. So C is if I possession over Judgment Day delay, which is a lot of delay. And it's just heavy. So that's that. And that's it. And again, over here you got a wireless receiver as well. That's the receiver for my wireless. It's also a tuner and a mute as well, so that's really, really cool. It's all powered off the Fender engine room level 12. Things are labelled just in case something goes wrong. I know what's plugged in. So say if a Mel 9 died, I know where it's plugged in there, so I can, if the lead goes bad or whatnot, I know how to change it. Again, just trying to make it as easy as possible. One of the most important things on the pedal board though, people tube, is this. Come with me. So one of the most important things is this. That right there, because we're only a support act, and like I say, because we've only got 40 minutes, 40 minutes to play, you don't want to eat into the headlining act's sound. You know, you don't want to be that person. So it's always good to keep a track of on time. So I bought this little clock off Amazon, and it just gives me that ability to know where we are time wise in the set. So I can adjust accordingly. So if we have a set list where we have to drop a song, I know we can. I can quickly go, right, well, let's get rid of that song and then we'll finish on time. Because like I say, you don't want to be that person who's just like, I'm just going to keep playing. You don't want to do that because that's just wrong. That's not gig etiquette. You're not the headlining act, So you've got to respect your time. If they say you've got 35 minutes, 40 minutes, then you adhere to that. I always try to be a bit below that. So if they say 40 minutes, I always try and make the set 35. If they say you've got 35 minutes, I always try and make it 30, just because then you're not stepping on anyone's toes and you're not getting annoying people. So while we're down here though, PeopleTube, I'll show you some of the settings. So obviously the zoom, it's all internal, but I do have a video on this of how I set it, and it hasn't changed. The cloudburst is set like that. Actually, let's go around here. The cloudburst is set like this, but the only thing I mess with is the mix. Everything else is kind of set in stone. The only thing I mess with is the mix, really. These, I don't remember how I set them. I set it years ago. I don't remember how it's set. Same thing with the Judgment Day delay. I don't remember how it's set. But they're all digital. I don't use any... they're all digital delay. Mel 9, always set like this on the high choir mode. Marshall Governor 2 Plus has the same setting I've had since 2007, just like that. And then this is the Marshall Jackhammer, my dirty clean John Frusciante thing, set to the overdrive mode, which I still think is distortion, to be perfectly honest with you. Gain at 12 o'clock, you can see what's going on. No treble and bass, they're turned all the way down, and frequency contour dial like that. The Ibanez Wah V2 is turned all the way up, but it's on the guitar mode. For Monsters, though, I use the bass wah, so I flip it in Monsters. I always forget to turn it to the bass mode before Monsters, so you always see me in the build-up of Monsters, the Jaws bit, bending down and flipping this switch, because I'm an idiot. DS2 is just flat out on mode 2, and that's your lot. And again, like I say, that's my wireless receiver. Where I can, if I unplug that, that's wireless now, let's set like that. But if I put this in, it's normal lead. So I always have another lead on stage. Just if my wireless goes down as well, always have a guitar lead nearby, plug it in there, straight into the guitar, and your jobs are good. And there's the Fender engine room as well. So I think that's it so far. Like I say, this is the pedal board. I'll show you. That's the cab there. Boss Katana, pedal baby, jewel baby, sorry. That's the wireless receiver inside here. It velcros onto my straps. SM58. That's the lid, and then guitar heaven in there. So, without further ado, let's talk about backups. So, let's go over here. So that's the bag for the orange there. So, backup pedal board is in here. And what is it? It's the Line 6 HX with a Vox Wah Wah, which I bought out of retirement. And this is basically my backup. And the really mad thing about this people tube, what you can see me in the thing. Hi, Dave. The really mad thing about this people tube is I can do everything in this that I can do on there in this smaller package. I still prefer the way that sounds, but this is just like, it just sounds ridiculous. Also, another cool thing people do, some of the venues we're playing are quite small. And if we get to the venue and the stage is just tiny, which I can imagine it is at some of these, then I'll probably just end up using this instead of that, just to save on space. But it only if needed. Like I say, inside here as well, we have the main power supply. Got a backup power supply for the HX as well, because it's 1,100 milliamp, which is very frustrating because you can't voltage double it off a power supply. Hence why the Vox is running off battery. It actually sounds better on battery anyway, the Vox does. But that's my backup pedal board. It's nicely inside this. It's kind of a flight case. I bought it because it fit dead neat and tidy in there. It's all foamed in there as well, so you know, nice and secure. So the next thing I need to talk about is my bag here. This is where all my bits and pieces are. So I'm just going to move some stuff about, and I'll show you what's inside the bag. Okay, so what's in the bag, Dave? So this was one of the best things I've ever bought. It's a Diodario gig bag. I don't know what they call it, but it's basically just like storage craziness. It's amazing. So there's a thing in the back which has nothing in it. There's things in the side which have nothing in it because I don't need to film. Inside here though, in this top panel, we've got stuff like gaffer tape for a start, because you know you need that. Also, people with a tube, the Boss IR2 amp and cabinet pedal, because just in case the orange goes and the Katana goes I can use that and go straight into the PA, and I love the way this thing sounds, so I would be happy. And the only thing I wouldn't be happy about is I'd have to hear it through a monitor, but all will be well. So that's in there. Again, just redundancy central. As many backups as you can carry. You know what I mean? If you need 4 leads, carry 12. It's that's how my brain works. If you need 2 pedal boards, carry 3. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, redundancies are important. More gaffer tape. What have we got? Vocal zones, because you know, and also headache tablets. Ibuprofen, because you never know when you might feel like you got a headache. Another thing, really important, people with tube, contact cleaner. This is Servicol stuff. It's so important because the other night, when we did a gig the other night, the Gold Chapman, because I don't use it a great deal, because it's song specific to 2 songs. I don't use it a great deal. It stays a lot in just the vault to sat there, unless we're doing those 2 songs in the set. And as a result of that, the volume pot got dirty, and in sound check it was really scratchy. And you know, you just unscrew the back plate, spray the Servicol, move it about, and jobs are good, and happy is the day. What else have we got in there? Oh, inside here, inside that mic bag, I have spare patch leads, spare power cables for power supplies, and spare fuses as well, for kind of kettle leads and stuff like that. Also, I have a spare Fender engine room level 12, which I haven't labelled up yet, which I need to do, just in case. Again, everything needs a backup, because if you don't have it, you'll need it. So that's what's in the top part of this bag. What we got down here? So in here, screwdriver set, because again, you know, you never know. That's to charge my wireless pack. Here's a spare wireless as well. This is a little mini Boss wireless unit that they very kindly sent to me, which is basically just in case, you know. I really enjoy wireless, people with tube. I love being wireless. If you came to the gig at the Flying Circus the other day, you'll see why I love wireless. So in the other pocket here, we have spare strings. I'm in transition mode at this point in time, people with tube. I'm going from gauge 10s to gauge 9s. All my guitars still have 10s, but I'm slowly transitioning to 9s because I don't know. I just feel it's time for reasons. Anyway, so spare strings, all stuff I need to restring a guitar. In here is just kind of like miscellaneous stuff. So inside there I've got loads of spare earplugs, spare cable for my wireless, bag of plectrums because, you know, you'll need more plectrums. I've got a capo in there, all sorts of stuff. I don't need a capo, but you never know. Might just want to be Keith Richards. So that's in there. And then in the last pocket, the lead one here is full of spare leads. So I have 1, 2, 3. I've got another 3 guitar leads in here. I've got 2 Fender Tweed leads. I've got another one here. I'll talk about the leads in a sec. 2 spare kettle leads, 2 spare speaker cables, and that's your lot. And that's what's in there. And the idea about this bag is if I have to go into it, something's gone wrong. That's basically what this bag is there for. If, like, you know, if a lead dies or a patch cable dies or something like that, a power lead from a power supply or power supply dies or whatever, if I have to go into this bag, something's gone wrong. This is the redundancy backup bag. So yeah, that's that. So the last thing to talk about is leads. What leads am I using? So the leads I'm using, people with Tube, is stag leads. I've used stag leads forever. And I do have the 2 Fenders in there, but I love stag lead. I love the way they sound. They're really, they never taffle up. They never get bloody smot raffled and all that kind of craziness. They're always really, really good. And I love them. And I recently bought 2 really, really long ones to go from my amp to my pedal board, because I did have a Fender lead before that. That's died now. I need to repair it. But I had a Fender lead before that. I did quite a lot of gigs. It did the album actually as well, which is cool. But it eventually died. But it would always get tangled and it would always kind of like fight you. There was a lot of resistance in it. It used to drive me mad. Whereas the stag leads just unfurl and they're just really, really nice and easy. And the Fender one wasn't quite long enough to go from my amp to my pedal board some venues. So I bought a 30-foot. I've got 2 30-foot long stag leads to go from my amp to my pedal board, so I'll never have to worry about, you know, the lead length or anything like that. And the lead that would go from the wireless to my guitar if my wireless failed is a stag lead as well. So I do have 2 Fender leads in there, 2 Tweed ones, but they're the main ones I'm going to use. Well, I'll show you actually. So the main ones I'm going to use are these ones. I've had that one there, and then this one here. It's got like, it's the ironing cable one, and that's it. And that's the whole lot really. It's nice and easy. It's not ridiculously. None of it's ridiculously heavy. Most of it's on wheels as well, which is really, really good. I do have a running bar as well to help with that. But that's everything I'm taking on the Red Giant, Troy Redfern Red Giant Tour of 2025, May Tour, which is in effect right now. Where are we? This goes out on Friday, so we're in Stockton-on-Tees tonight. So when this video comes out, I'll have posted this video from the venue. Fingers crossed, touch wood. Anyway, so yeah, without further ado, YouTube, that's it. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope this was somewhat interesting. Bit of a rundown of everything I'm taking, really. That is everything. I'm pretty sure of it. So we've done amps, cabs, pedals, guitar. Yeah, we've got it all. I think that's everything covered. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again very soon for another video. And if you can, please come out and see us at one of the gigs. There's a link in the description box below to Rev Giant's website where you can see where we're playing and links to tickets where you can buy tickets. So other than that, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you again very well. See you next Friday for another video now. It's pre-recorded though, this one. I've got pre-recorded videos stacked because I'm not at home. So yeah, so anyway, I don't know what next Friday's gonna be. I have a choice of, I don't know, I think it's like 16 videos. So I don't know what it's gonna be. But we'll figure that out. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope this video has been somewhat interesting. I know there's not been a lot of playing in it, but hopefully it made some kind of sense. And yeah, it's been informative. And yeah, I'll see you again very soon for another one. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and goodbye now. Cheers for watching. Goodbye. Oh, and quick, I do have to say this really quick because YouTube's killing me. If you like this channel, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. I don't know what's going on with this channel. I don't know what YouTube are playing at. My videos are doing better than they've ever done. This channel's doing better than it's ever done. but everything else is going down. I don't understand. I really don't understand. So if you can, please support me in this channel on Patreon. It really means a lot. Really, again, it keeps the channel going. If I don't have that, it's over, basically. Yeah, for lack of a better word, I won't be able to do it. So anyway, just had to get that in there. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching. I'll see you again very soon. And yeah, have a great one. Goodbye now.